Hello and welcome once again to the Dr. Zeero Free Magic Secrets Show, where today we investigate all forms of magic, as always. But today, especially, we're going to talk a little bit about alchemy. And we're talking about what some of the symbols mean. Because, it's quite the conundrum staring into the vast tapestry of alchemy, medieval alchemy, and having no idea what any of the symbolism means, or what the 21 stages of alchemy means, or what it's all about. So, this is kind of a beginner video if you don't know these things. Alchemy is extremely interesting to Dr. Zeero. It's not Doc's top knowledge, because even I don't have all this memorized. But in theory, I got the gist of it. So that's better than most people. But we're just going to focus on what do the animal symbolism in alchemy actually means. A little bit of that. And we're going to talk about what dragons mean in alchemy. And we're going to talk about the silent secrets of the rose. So pretty simple. While birds and flying animals generally indicate spiritual or volatile principles, terrestrial animals usually stand for physical or fixed principles. Whenever two animals are found, they signify sulfur and mercury, or some relationship between fixed and volatile principles. Animals also symbolize basic principles of alchemy. For example, they may symbolize the four elements in drawings. The earth element is usually symbolized by an ox or lion, the water element by fish or whales, the air element by doves or eagles, and the fire element by salamanders or dragons. Serpents represent the life force or the energies being exchanged in alchemical transformations. Two entwined serpents represent the opposing masculine and feminine energies that make up the life force, such as depicted in the Caudacious, or the union of opposing substances in the lab. Three-headed serpents, or three serpents in a group, stands for the three principles of sulfur, mercury, and salt. Winged serpents represent volatile substances. Wingless serpents represent fixed substances. A crucified serpent represents the fixation of a volatile substance. In alchemical drawings, frogs and toads indicate the first matter and the energies of materialization. The black toad symbolizes the first matter being released by the putrefaction of a substance. The chaining or tying together of a toad on the ground and an eagle in the sky represents the union of fixed and volatile components, such as silver and mercury, or soul and spirit. Other animal symbols include two fish swimming in opposite directions, which designate the essences of spirit and soul during the operation of dissolution. Bees, beetles, and butterflies are symbols of purification and the rebirth of soul or essence. The mythical unicorn was a symbol of sublimation and was associated with the white tincture and the white powder of alchemy. The noble stag with large antlers was associated with the red tincture and red powder of alchemy. Scenes of the stag and unicorn meeting in the middle of a forest indicate the completion of the work and the successful creation of the philosopher's stone. Wolves symbolize the wild, untamed spirit of man, or the chaotic forces of nature. Dogs represent the domesticated spirit of man, or natural forces working to assist the alchemist. Chemically, the dog is philosophical mercury, or the purified, benevolent spirit of the metal mercury. The gray wolf stands for the metal antimony. The gray wolf is a fearsome beast. When molten, it mercilessly devours other metals like lead, tin, and copper. Drawings showing dogs fighting with wolves represent the process of purifying gold with antimony, which was alloyed with other metals to remove them from gold. And we got to talk about the lions. Lions are important symbols, as they are usually associated with the properties of sulfur or the application of heat or acids to the metals. Chemically, the lion is any salt or fixed substance obtained from the metals. It is black, green, or red according to its state of transformation. The first of the lions is the black lion, which represents the black salt, lead ore, or in general, the darkest parts of the substance, that must be purified and transformed by fire. In working with minerals and metals, the green lion is the root of the essence of the metals or soul of the metals. The green lion was known for devouring the metals. The chemical signature that gave it its green color was iron sulfate, and acids made with iron sulfate were called the green lion. These included vitriol or sulfuric acid, which dissolved most common metals such as iron and copper, and also nitric acid. When nitric acid was mixed with hydrochloric acid, it produced the greenish acid aqua regia, which could even dissolve gold. Images of the green lion devouring the sun refer to this ability. The green lion is also associated with the green acetate of lead in its oily or unredeemed form. When working with plant essences and vegetable matter, the green lion represented the life force in the leaves of the plants. In this case, the green lion eating the sun is the process of photosynthesis that creates the greenness of nature from the pigment chlorophyll. Alchemists understood this process and tried to isolate the life force in plants to use in their experiments and even create artificial life forms. At the next level of the work with animals, the red lion is the life force in blood. In the work with minerals and metals, the red lion is the red acetate of lead in its crystallized form. Generally, with the red lion, we gain control over untamed or unredeemed forces by feeding the green lion a seed of gold or purifying it with a catalyst or transmuting agent. Philosophically, the green lion is the raw forces of nature or the subconscious that we are seeking to tame, and the red lion is the assimilation or control of those forces. In the final stages of this work, the red lion grows wings. The winged lion is the volatile or spiritual aspect of a substance, which is the sublimated salt used to make the philosopher's stone. Now we got to talk about the dragons of alchemy. Dragons are another group of important symbols and represent the properties of Mercury or the application of life force or energy. Chemically, the dragon is the mercury acid obtained from the metals or acids in general. Like lions, the alchemical dragon is black, green, or red, according to its level of transformation. The black dragon is the blackened metallic compound undergoing putrefaction, death, and decay. The green dragon is the indwelling spirit or life of the metal, the thing that gives metals their active properties. Philosophically, the green dragon is a formerly ferocious and unforgiving dragon that is now tamed. Its energy is contained by having been crystallized. Formerly threatening unconscious elements have now been assimilated into consciousness. The red dragon appears at both the beginning and end of the work. It is the chaotic energy of the first matter at the beginning of the work that becomes the philosopher's stone at the end of the work. Chemically, the red dragon is the pure red oil of lead in its initial state and the red powder of projection in its perfected or tamed state. A fire-breathing dragon, or a dragon in flames, indicates a metal melting or a substance undergoing calcination. Several dragons fighting amongst themselves depict metals undergoing the process of putrefaction. Dragons with wings represent the volatile, spirit or energetic principle, and wingless dragons represent the fixed, soul or material principle. The cyclic interplay of volatile and fixed, light and darkness, spirit and soul, energy and matter, creation and destruction is rendered in drawings showing two dragons, one winged and the other with feet, each eating each other's tail. Now we're going to talk about the silent secrets of the rose. No symbol inspired alchemists of the Renaissance more than the rose. The flower is one of the fundamental symbols of alchemy and became the philosophical basis of the Rosicrucians, an alchemical movement that flourished in the 17th century. So important was it to alchemists that dozens of manuscripts are called rosarium, Latin for rose garden, and all deal with the alchemical relationship between the king and queen. The rose is much more meaningful, much older, and more deeply embedded in the human subconscious than most people believe. In Europe, rose fossils 35 million years old have been found, and archaeologists have unearthed petrified rose wreaths from the oldest Egyptian tombs. To understand the alchemist's fascination with the rose, let's take a deeper look into its complicated symbolism. The rose is a paradoxical symbol of both purity and passion, heavenly perfection and earthly desire, and life and death. Originally a symbol of joy, the rose later indicated secrecy and silence, but is now commonly associated with romantic love. In general, the color of the rose denotes its meaning. Red roses are symbols of passion, soulful love, deep creativity, and high personal energy. White roses symbolize purity, innocence, acceptance, and unconditional love. Black or withered roses indicate that love is gone or over, as well as impending disaster, depression, or death. Pink roses stand for gentleness, thankfulness, and loving or supportive friendship. Yellow roses signify compassion, sociability, free-flowing conversations, confidence, and security. Orange roses carry feelings of enthusiasm, fascination, and optimism. Blue and purple roses indicate spiritual longing, meditation, and the promise of a perfect world. Gilded or golden roses convey the idea of personal perfection, completion of the great work, or the invocation of divine powers. In alchemical terms, the golden rose means a successful marriage of opposites to produce the golden child, and the rose in general is a symbol of the operation of conjunction, the mystical marriage of opposites. The rose represents the regeneration of purified essences and their resurrection in a new compound or body. The white rose is associated with the white queen of alchemy and represents the feminine, receptive, contractive principle of lunar soul. The red rose is associated with the red king and is regarded as a masculine, active, expansive principle of solar spirit. The rose-red color, said psychologist Carl Jung, is related to the aqua permanens, eternal water or blood of the soul, which are extracted from the first matter. The union of white and red roses, of soul and spirit, symbolizes the birth of the philosopher's child. Also, white roses were linked to the white phase of the work and the white stone of multiplication, while the red rose was associated with the red phase and the red stone of projection. In alchemical drawings, the rose garden is a symbol of sacred space and could mean a meditation chamber, oratorium in a lab, a sacred tabernacle, an altar, a sacred location in nature, or paradise itself. In all these instances, the rose garden is the mystical bridal chamber, the place of the mystic marriage. Mystery glows in the rose bed, and the secret is hidden in the rose, wrote the 12th century Persian alchemist Farid Attar. In Christian alchemy, the rose and the rosary became symbols of the union between God and human beings. Scenes of Mary in a rose garden or under a rose arbor or before a tapestry of roses reinforced this idea. In the art of the Middle Ages, Mary is almost always shown holding a rose, which indicates her power comes from divine love. In spiritual alchemy, the single rose represents the mystic center of a person, her heart of hearts. As a symbol of the mystical marriage within a person, the rose represents a special kind of love in which one melts away into the beauty of another, and the old identity is surrendered for that of the beloved or a higher identity discovered within oneself. Sufi spiritual alchemist Rumi had this idea in mind when he wrote, "In the driest, widest stretch of pain's infinite desert, I lost my sanity and found this rose." In this sense, the rose is a symbol of complete surrender and permanent transmutation. Because of its association with the deepest workings of the heart, the rose has come to symbolize inner secrets and things that cannot be spoken. The Latin phrase sub rosa, under the rose, is used to indicate writings or discussions that should be kept secret. The concept originated in the medieval tradition of hanging red roses from the ceilings of meetings of hermetic organizations, such as the Freemasons, Rosicrucians, or alchemy guilds, to indicate that the discussions were not to be shared with outsiders. For instance, in Sebastian Brandt's 15th century alchemical treatise, Ship of Fools, the author warns, "What here we do say shall under roses stay." So, That's your Secrets of Alchemy for today on the Dr. Zeero Free Magic Secrets Show. Thanks for stopping by. Hit the subscribe button. Let people know I exist. Post these videos in groups. Tell people when you're drunk at the bar about me. Show them the little YouTube channel. Get them lost. And all these great things. So, with that all said, I guess we've all come to the conclusion, and there's only one thing left to do. A hot rockin' outro just for you. All right, later, kids.